Santham Academy. Welcome to Digital Kaksha. To get updates on new videos, click the subscribe button and the bell icon.
Hello students, today in this video we will be studying about the topic that is principle of superposition. Before coming to the statement for this topic, let us understand the diagram. In this diagram, there is a system showing the n number of charges, that is Q1, Q2 and so on up to Qn. Other than this, there is one more charge, that is Q0, to which we are calling as test charge. One thing is to be noticed that all these charges we have taken with positive signs. Now, this test charge has got this name because the other charges which are present in the system, we will be calculating the force exerted by all these charges on this test charge. Here, the distribution of the charges is the discrete distribution. Now, the statement for principle of superposition states that the resultant force on the test charge due to the other charges present in a system is equal to the vector sum of the forces exerted on that charge due to all these charges. I will write it mathematically, that is the resultant force on the test charge will be the vector sum of the forces exerted by the other charges on the test charge. So mathematically the relation can be written in this way: F resultant is equal to vector F01 plus vector F02 plus up to vector F0n, where vector F01 is shown in this way, that is, since both the charges are positive Q0 and Q1, so when Q1 will be exerting the force on Q0, its tendency will be to repel this charge because they are like charges. Same is the case with the charge Q2. So the direction of vector F02 is shown this way, and vector F0n will be shown in this direction, which is representing the force on Q0 due to the charge Qn. In order to get the formula, we will be using Coulomb's law. According to that law, the force is given in this way. As you can notice that this term, that is 0, which has come from the test charge Q0 or Q0, is common in all the terms. So here I am taking the Q0 charge outside the bracket. Apart from that, in vector form, I am left with Q1 upon the distance between Q1 and Q0. Let us take that distance to be R1, this distance to be R2, and the distance between Q0 and Qn to be Rn. But in the vector form, we will be using these distances in the form of position vectors. So their values will be substituted as R1q vector R1 plus the second term in this case will be the charge Q2 upon R2q vector R2. It will go up to nth term. Now here it will be generalized as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught. Now, since I have told you that this distribution of the charge is the discrete distribution, so in order to represent these terms, we will be using the summation sign, and inside that summation sign, I will be taking the charge as Qi upon the cube of the distance, which will be Ri cube, and the vector will be taken as vector Ri. Since here it is the summation, so we have to define the limit for I. So the value of I will vary from 1 to n, where this existence of n, it will be in the nth term in this bracket term. So students, this is the formula for the resultant force on any of the test charge. In the next video, we will be talking about the application of this concept in the numerical problems. Now, students, let us solve a question. Let us read the question. Triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle. Find the force on plus Q charge at C. In this figure, the equilateral triangle is given with all the three sides equal, represented by X. In the system of these three charges, the positive charges are kept on all the three corners of the triangle. We have to calculate the value of the force on plus Q charge, which is kept at C. So according to the principle of superposition, on this charge plus Q at C, the two remaining charges kept at the points A and B will be exerting the force. Since these charges are also positive, so the type of the force existing between these two charges as well as these two charges, it will be repulsive in nature. So in the solution, before coming to the mathematical part, let us first complete the vector diagram. The direction of the force on C due to A will be shown in the diagram in this manner, because this plus Q will repel this plus Q, which is kept at C. And here this will be written as vector FCA. Similarly, this plus Q charge will repel this plus Q charge. So the direction of the force will be given as in this right side direction and will be written as vector FCB. Now there are two forces here which are acting on this plus Q charge. One is vector FCA and the another is vector FCB. Since triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle, so the angle, or I can say each angle, is of value 60 degree. When this angle is 60 degree, these are the two forces with which we have to calculate the resultant force. So we must know the angle between these two forces. So between these two, the angle will again be 60 degree here. The reason is that this angle and this angle, these are vertically opposite angles. Now, when the two forces are there or any two vector quantities are there with certain angle between them, the resultant formula is given as R is equal to under root A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Here let us say vector FCA is acting as vector A and vector FCB is acting as vector B. So after substitution of these values, this formula can be changed into FCA whole square plus FCB whole square plus 2 magnitude of FCA, magnitude of FCB into cos 60 degree. We know that the value of cos 60 degree is equal to 1 by 2, and the magnitude of FCA and FCB can be calculated by the formula of Coulomb's law. That is, we know that F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square. Here, since it is an equilateral triangle, the charges are same, plus Q and plus Q, separated by the distance x. Similarly, at points A and C also, the magnitudes of charges are same. They are also separated by the distance x. So this way I can say that magnitude wise these two forces are equal. Now let us see what will be their magnitude. Using this formula, it will come out to be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Since it is Q multiplied by Q, so it is Q square upon X square. So this way, when magnitude we have got, this magnitude can be substituted in this formula of the resultant in order to get the value. So the magnitude can be substituted at the end. This formula for F resultant, that is F resultant, can be obtained as is equal to under root. Let us say these two forces magnitude can be denoted by F. So the value comes out to be F square plus F square plus 2F square cos 60 degree, which is equal to 1 by 2. Now here this 2 and 2 will be cancelled out. So we are left with under root F square plus F square plus F square, which is equal to under root 3F square. Can also be written as root 3F. Now students, let us solve one more question. That is, triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle. The sides are given as x. The question is same what was there in the previous question. Find the force on plus Q at C. You can see that the plus Q charge is kept on C, plus Q on B, but on the corner A there is minus Q charge kept in this figure. So again we will start the solution with the completion of the vector diagram. Since at points B and C the like charges are kept, so the repulsive force will be in this direction and will be labeled as vector FCB. Now the thing which is changed here in this question, that there is negative charge kept at point A. So here the tendency of the negative charge is to attract this positive charge plus Q towards it, and hence the direction of the vector force, that is vector FCA, will be marked towards A. I am explaining again. Since minus Q and plus Q, these are the opposite, or I can say the unlike charges, they have the tendency to attract each other. That is why the force which the minus q charge will exert on this plus q charge, its direction will be towards A or towards minus q. So these are the directions of the two vectors which are required here in the question. Now, in equilateral triangle, the value of each angle is equal to 60 degree. Here, this is the angle which we need to find out in order to calculate the resultant between these two forces. So, the angle 60 degree which is marked and the angle which is to be calculated, both of them they are forming the linear pair where the sum of the angles is 180 degree. So using that property, we can say that here the value of this angle will be 120 degree. Coming to the formula of the resultant, which is given as square root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta, substituted as square root of fca square plus fcb square plus 2 magnitude of fca magnitude of fcb into cos 120 degree. Now, for the value of cos 120 degree, the trigonometric identity can be written as cos 90 degree plus 30 degree. It will give us the value to be equal to minus of sin 30 degree, which will be equal to minus 1 upon 2. Now proceeding with the application of the formula given by Coulomb's force, F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square. In this case, again the magnitudes of FCA vector and vector FCB, it will remain same. For convenience, we can take or we can label these two vectors or their magnitudes to be equal to F. So, the value of F using the formula for Coulomb's force to be applied in the given figure can be written as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q square upon x square. Now let us see what way we are getting the formula for the resultant force on plus q charge kept at C. This resultant can be written as square root of f square plus f square plus 2 f square into minus 1 by 2, which we have calculated here. This 2 and this 2 will be cancelled. So this way, after solving, we are getting the value 2f square minus f square, which is equal to under root f square, and further solving it, this value is coming to be equal to f. So in this case, the value of f resultant is obtained to be equal to f, which can be written as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q square upon x square. Even it can also be written as 9 into 10 to the power 9 q square upon x square, and we can assign the unit also, that is Newton, for this force. So, with these two questions, with the completion of the solution starting with the vector form, I hope all of you have understood the concept of the topic, that is superposition principle. I hope all of you have liked this video. The further topics of the chapter we will be studying in the next video. So thank you very much for watching the video.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more.